Welcome in, Internet. This is the Brock Osweiler trade reaction video. Let me first tell you what the reaction is most Texans fans found out when they heard that Brock Osweiler was traded. Ah! Oh my God! Someone took Brock Osweiler! Yeah. So if you heard a noise in Houston sometime in the afternoon, like no, it was not someone screaming for help. It was the entire city of Houston at once, screaming and jumping for joy that someone was gullible enough to take Brock Osweiler off the Houston Texans' hands. So, for those of you that may not have known that Brock Osweiler was traded, let me first welcome you to the internet. Secondly, let me break down the deal for you. Brock Osweiler and a 2017 sixth round pick plus a 2018 second round pick was sent on over to the Cleveland Browns, and in return, the Browns are sending a 2017 fourth round pick, and they're taking on Brock Osweiler's sweet cash. So all that money that the Houston Texans are going to pay Brock Osweiler, don't worry about it. Cleveland Browns said, "We got you, bruh. We are going to take on that sweet contract." So yeah, so this deal is insane. It's the first of its kind for a lot of different reasons. I can't remember the last time a player of Brock Osweiler's caliber was traded. For essentially nothing, essentially just a cap saving move. You see it all the time in the NBA and in baseball and stuff like that, but you don't see it in football. So Rick Smith, oddly enough, is an innovator in his time. But essentially, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Breaking down what really happened today. Essentially, the Browns are paying $16 million for the rights to the Texans' second round pick next year. Of course, they're doing like the fourth and sixth round pick swap this year. Texans getting the Browns fourth, Texans sending the Browns their sixth. But really, the crux of the deal was the second round pick. And you know what? I'd send the first round pick if the Browns were a little bit like, no, you know what? It's not enough. Rick Smith should have been like, you know what? We'll give you the first round pick too. We'll give you anything. Just take Brock Osweiler off our hands, please. And the Browns said, you know what? We'll do that. So essentially, what happened this afternoon was Browns management called the Texans. Hey, you know what? We are underneath the salary cap by $100 million. And Rick Smith said, hold on. Don't you finish that thought. Let me send you Brock Osweiler in return, and we can help you meet that salary cap floor. And Browns management said, you know what? That's a smart idea. Because you know what we don't need? We don't need players who are going to fit the Browns system, or we don't need players who are going to make the Browns better. We need to meet the salary cap, and we'll take on whatever kind of form that is. You know what? If Albert Hainsworth was still playing on that massive Redskins contract, we'll take Albert Hainsworth too. So yeah, insane deal. But pretty much, the Browns did not really care about Osweiler. More of a second thought in this deal. It was more about getting that second round pick, and the value apparently is $16 million. So now we know what a second round pick is the cost. $16 million. So let me read you this release by the Browns team, and you tell me if they ever plan on Brock Osweiler playing for the Browns. So we're really excited to acquire a second round draft choice in this trade. Draft picks are extremely important to our approach in building a championship caliber football team. We are intent on adding competition to every position on our roster and look forward to having Brock come in and compete. I imagine that when they were dictating this to their secretary, they were using the hand gestures and all that as well. So yeah, Browns don't care at all about Brock Osweiler. The likelihood of him actually taking a starting snap for the Browns, very unlikely. Reports are reports are, even as I'm talking right now, the Browns are looking to outright release him in the NBA and be like waiving him. So yeah, reaction crazy. It's a reaction video. Waking up this morning, I don't think very many people woke up envisioning that the Texans would be making a move like this. I think a couple people probably thought that they might outright release Brock Osweiler, even though it would be detrimental to the cap and have monetary ramifications. But I don't think there are many people that ever really envisioned something like this going down. It's the first of its kind. It's never happened before, so thinking it would happen would be just crazy, crazy town. But with Brock Osweiler leaving, they also are, of course, as I mentioned, they're giving up a second round pick. But in the big scheme of things, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. It's kind of a small price to pay for getting rid of that contract. That contract was so detrimental to the Texans. It allowed them to do very little things in this year's free agency. We already seen the Texans not re-sign A.J. Bouye and Quentin Dimps as they went on to different teams. Who knows if this deal was done before, that maybe they could have saved those and kept those guys. We'll never know. But now that the Texans have freed up this cap space, maybe they might be able to do some more things. I believe they have about $30 million in cap space right now. So could that be Tony Romo? Could that be Jay Cutler? Could it be another cornerback out there that they're interested in to kind of replace AJ Bouye? So yeah, there's a lot of different things that the Texans can do, but definitely freeing up Brock Osweiler was key to doing that, and just crazy that it was able to happen. I know a lot of people are down on the Texans giving up a second round pick, but I'm not really that down about it. I know it's insane to say, but I trust in Rick Smith and his scouting department, and they've been able to find guys. I mean, look at the two guys who the Texans did not re-sign this year, A.J. Bouye and Quentin Dimps, both leaving for other teams, getting free agent contracts. Bouye was an undrafted free agent, and Quentin Dimps was literally someone they found on the streets. He played in the NFL before that, but a couple training camps ago, he came in midway through training camp, and he was literally found on the streets. Yeah, that was the Hard Knocks training camp 3 years ago. Very serviceable players for the Texans. In fact, I was just kind of farting around on the Texans roster, and I didn't realize that there was actually some pretty good contributing players for the Texans last year that were undrafted free agents, and the Texans are going to have get tons of those guys. Greg Mance, who started every game for them at center this year, undrafted free agent. Jonathan Grimes, who everyone wants to see more from, and he seems to be kind of like a secret weapon from the Texans running backs that they never really use, undrafted free agent. Of course, those are, two, but AJ Bouye another one. But I kind of feel that losing one draft pick and the second round pick is not going to be that big of a deal, and it's not going to hurt the Texans too much. When you look at in the NBA, the Rockets kind of did something similar when they traded Corey Brewer and a second round pick to the Lakers for Lou Williams. While they did get someone back, but they sent a second round pick in return. That's a little bit more valuable in the NBA just because there's less roster spots. So the second round pick is actually kind of meaningful. But the second round pick in the NFL, while it is valuable, $16 million valuable, it's not as valuable as you think. Just remember, the Texans picked Ben Tate once as a second round pick. It's a gamble, 50-50, and the Texans are going to have plenty of young guys in camp this year and next year, and the likelihood that one of them are going to turn into stars are pretty not pretty big, but it's bigger than just having one guy, a second round pick, turn into a star. You're going to have plenty of guys out there, and they're all going to be competing for spots. Having a second round pick very small in the big scheme of things. So I'm going to stop talking. We all know that this crazy town deal that happened today in the NFL. Oddly enough, I saw a bunch of people kind of comparing Rick Smith to Daryl Morey, and you know what? I do hope that Rick Smith is starting to get a little bit of respect from Texans fans. While in years past, even in the Brock Osweiler deal, it kind of felt like he deserved no respect. But I think that this move here kind of shows you that they are trying. They're doing whatever they can to right the ship, and just showing that he had the smarts to pull this off. Literally, I don't think anybody saw this coming. This is definitely one of the more shocking things that has been pulled off in the NFL in a very long time. So not much else I can say about it. I think in a couple days I'm going to do another video about should Tony Romo come to the Texans or not. Apparently, I was seeing on Twitter that it looks like it's going to be a little bit longer of a process than most people think. He's going to be doing a tour, from what I've heard. But Tony Romo has kind of not made right with it, but he's kind of, he sent out the video on Instagram, and he understands he's not going to be a Cowboy next year. But where will he be? With the Houston Texans, with the Denver Broncos, with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Who knows? But anyways, thanks for watching. My name is Josh Reese. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Joshua. I will catch you guys next time.